Hello dear students, welcome to the business studies classes. In the last class of session 3 organizing chapter, I was discussing about formal and informal organization. Formal organization, the meaning, features, advantages and disadvantages, and in the informal organization, meaning, features, advantages, disadvantages. At the end we were discussing about comparing of formal and informal organizing. Now, today we are going to discuss about the concept of delegation and the elements of delegation, that is authority, responsibility and accountability. At the same time we are discussing about decentralization, meaning of decentralization and comparing of centralization and decentralization, and also we are discussing about the importance of delegation. So, let me begin with the concept, that is delegation. What do you mean by delegation? It refers to downward transfer of authority from the superior to the subordinate. So, it clearly states that transfer of authority. So, superior will transfer his authority to his subordinate. Again, the definition also says the same thing. According to Theo Heyman, delegation of authority merely means that the authority to subordinate to operate within prescribed limit. Let me give an example. In a college, the board of directors transfer the authority to the principal. Again, principal also transfer its authority to the teachers, to the lecturers. So, this is where authority flows. So, delegation clearly says that authority, the transfer of authority from the superior to the subordinate. So, let us discuss the elements of delegation. There are 3 elements of delegation. One, it is authority, responsibility and accountability. Let us discuss what you mean by authority. Authority is right of an individual to command his subordinate and take action within the scope of his position. So, again the similar the meaning which continues in the authority, it is a right of an individual to command. So, once authority is given, he has the power to command his subordinate, whatever in his department, whatever the work to be done, whatever the jobs to be completed, the manager in the particular department has a right to command his subordinate and take the action, whatever. If it is not completed in his particular department, he can take the action. So, that is what it says. Authority means right of an individual. So, principal has a right, in the college the principal has been given the right to command the lecturers, at the same time he can command the student also. So, this is where authority flows. Usually it flows from the top to the bottom, that is from the superior to the subordinate, flows downwards. It always flows downwards, and at the same time he has the right to take the decision. A person who has been given the authority, he has the full right to take the decision with his limit. Again, there is a limit, he cannot cross that particular limit. He has the right to take decision, right to command. And at the same time the authority restricted by law and the rules and the regulation and the policies. So, whatever in his department he has the right. For example, in a production department, the production manager has the right to give the orders, take the actions within his limit. He cannot go and command the finance department, he cannot go and command HRM department. No, he has the only right to take the action within whatever his limit. So, that is what it is called authority. That is what it is called authority. The next concept is the responsibility. It is the obligation of a subordinate to properly perform the assigned duty. So, obligation, he has to perform the duty. That is what it is called as responsibility. Once the authority is given, the person is responsible. Once the authority is given, transferred to one particular person, at the same time the responsibility also grows. So, it is the obligation of the subordinate to properly perform the assigned duties. So, whatever the duties has been assigned has to be performed. For example, managing director calls for the production manager, come in production department, and he will say that we have to produce 1000 tons of products at the end of this particular month. So, then what production manager will do? The production manager will come to his department and he will transfer the information, what work they have to do. Within 1 month, our department has to perform this 1000 tons of production. So, he again transferred his work to his department subordinates. So, this is how the responsibility also flows. So, now production manager is a responsible person. Whatever the unit has to be produced, that is the responsibility of a production manager. So, at the same time, the responsibility flows upwards. Responsibility flows upward from the production department subordinate to the production manager, then to the managing director. At the same time, authority and responsibility go hand in hand. Let me give an example. In a bank, okay, one of the candidate will be appointed as a clerk. Okay, what clerk's job is? His job is to in the office related work, opening of SB account, all those. Later, if after performing very good task in the clerk, later if he will be promoted to the officer post, again when he promoted officer, his responsibility and authority slowly increases, and slowly after 2, 4, 5 years, again he will be promoted to the branch manager level. Again the branch manager and his authority and responsibility increases, and then if a person again promoted to the branch manager, see, the branch manager has a right to grant a loan. In his branch, a branch manager has a right to sanction a loan, whereas clerk doesn't have that particular rights. So, that is why when the authority increases, when certain responsibility, authority increases, at the same time responsibility also. So, branch manager has a right to grant any sanction, any loans, at the same time he has the responsibility also. So, this authority and responsibility goes hand in hand. Now, what happens? What happens if it does not match? If authority is granted more, there is no responsibility. There is a chance of misuse of authority. A person can misuse his authority, misuse his power. Okay. Now, what happened if the responsibility is more, but there is no authority? Here is a responsibility, but there is no authority. What happened? It makes a person inefficient. It makes a person inefficient. So, this is what the meaning of responsibility. It is the obligation of a subordinate to perform the assigned duty. So, that is why what I told, authority and responsibility go together. So, let us discuss the next element, that is accountability. It implies being answerable to the final outcome. Once authority has been delegated and responsibility accepted, one cannot deny the accountability. He is accountable for it. Now, for example, managing director has transferred his authority to the production manager that you have to produce 1000 tons of units of products has to be manufactured in a month. Okay, then the production manager comes to his department and he will inform the subordinate that we have to produce in terms of unit at the end of month. Now, what happens at the end of the month if they don't produce 1000 tons of unit? Now, who is accountable? The production manager itself is accountable for it, because his task, his responsibility, his authority to perform the given task, okay, to perform the given task. He cannot show hand towards the department subordinate, his department subordinate. No, he has given the responsibility to perform the assigned duty. So, that is what it is called. It is a final outcome, okay, answerable to the final outcome. Now, when the managing director in a college, managing director will inform principal that 100% result has to be achieved at the end of this academic year. So, at the end of the year, if the college performs 100% result, principal, at the same time the lecturers are accountable. At the same time, if they do not get 100% result, same, the principal and the lecturers are held accountable. So, these are the various elements of delegation: authority, responsibility and accountability. So, let us discuss the next concept, that is comparison of authority, responsibility, accountability. So, what are the various comparison between these three? The first one, the basis, the meaning. Authority, it is a right to command an individual, the obligation to perform the assigned duties, whereas accountability means answerable for the final outcome. Now, how the delegation? It can be delegated, authority can be delegated, transferred, then it cannot be entirely delegated, responsibility cannot be entirely delegated, accountability cannot be delegated at all. Now, how it originates? It arises from the formal position, from the top superior to the subordinate. It arises from the delegated authority. Whatever the authority is given, it has to be performed. Okay? The responsibility is given to the subordinate. Next, it arises from the responsibility. So, once the responsibility to finish the task has to be done by the subordinate and the manager. It arises from the responsibility. And the last one, it flows downwards. Downwards means from the superior to the subordinate. Here responsibility flows upward from the subordinate to the superior. In the same way, accountability also flows upward from the subordinate to the superior. So, these are the comparison between authority, responsibility and accountability. So, let us discuss the next concept, that is importance of delegation. Why it is very important? Delegation is very important for an organization, when the transfer of authority flows from the superior to the subordinate. Let us discuss the importance of delegation. The first one, it is effective management. Effective management. Now, how it will be effective? Once all the burden, all the work, all the authority transferred from the superior to subordinate. Now, what superior can do? Superior can concentrate on the most important function in the management. For example, MD will transfer the authority to the production manager that you have to produce 1000 tons of units of products. Now, where the MD can concentrate, how they can specialize in a product, specialization can be done. What are the innovation activities can be performed, research and development in the products, and what is the market condition, how well we can sell the market or throughout our country or worldwide. So, these are the main function can be performed, can be concentrated by the top authorities, the superiors. So, that is why it becomes effective management when the delegation, the transfer of authority from the superior to subordinate. The next next point, that is employee development. The employee's talents, okay, employee's talents. The employee get more opportunity to utilize their talent. It enables to perform the complex tasks. Once the authority transferred to the lower level, the production manager, the accounts manager will get the responsibility and to perform the particular task. Then they can utilize their talent, okay, they utilize their ideas, how well they can perform. This helps the employees development. This enables the employees to develop for a higher order. They can start from the clerk, slowly they can be the manager of a particular department. So that is why delegation helps in the employees development, overall employees development. He cannot be remain in the same position where you enter into the one of the section. He can be promoted in the he can be promoted upwards. That's why delegation helps in the employees development of a organization. At the same time, the motivation of employee, it motivates. Once the responsibility, once their hard work, once their skill, once their ideas has been identified by the top authority, will be given the opportunity to perform as a manager. So this motivates the employee, because once they come to know that their hard work, okay, their efforts has been judged by the top authority and has been given, has been promoted as a manager, they will come to know that yes, our work matters a lot. So once a particular employee comes to know that we can promote to the up to the order, they will dedicate their work, their service, they give fullest, they will give the 100% in their job. So that motivates. Once the motivation level increases, the company, overall performance of the company improves. Though that's why delegation helps in the motivation of the employees, where employees can be promoted to the higher level. And the third point it is, fourth point it is the facilitation of growth. It helps in the growth and the expansion. Whenever the company wants to grow at the higher level, they want to expand their branches, the ready workforce, okay, they have the ready workforce in the organization, in the production department, okay, in the production department, the production manager, and there are many employees under the production department, and very experienced employees working under the production department. What happens when the company wants to expand, okay, when the company wants to expand their branches, the production manager will be transferred, will be promoted to be one of the head, okay, branch head in the particular branch. So after production manager promoted, the lower level, whoever the experience, they will be the production manager in their particular department. So they will come to know they can be promoted. At the same time, it facilitates the growth of the organization. Means whenever the company wants, they have the ready workforce to take the leading position in the organization. So this helps in the growth and expansion of the business, expansion of the organization. And the fifth point, it is basis of management hierarchy. Management hierarchy. This is what the management hierarchy. Okay, who works under who? They comes to know what is their task to perform, what is their responsibility, what is their authority, superior subordinate relationship. It enables, delegation enables the superior and subordinate relationship, who they are working under whom, from whom they have to take the orders, whom they have to report, who has the right, who has the command. So everything is possible because of the delegation. The next point, it is better coordination. Delegation helps in better coordination of a organization. It provides clarity in working relationship, the clarity in work position and duty to perform. The clarity means flow of authority from the superior to the subordinate. Who has the authority, who has the responsibility to perform. For example, in a college, the board of director transfer the authority to the principal, principal to the vice principal to the teacher. So, each one they knows what their responsibility, what their rights, how they have to perform in the organization. It enables a better coordination in overall organization. So, this because of the proper delegation of authority. So, these are the very important points of delegation. So, importance of delegation: effective management, employee development, motivation of employee, facilitation of growth, basis of management hierarchy, better coordination. So, let us discuss the next concept, that is decentralization. In this concept, we are learning about the meaning and the definition of decentralization and what is centralization and the comparison between the centralization and the decentralization, at the same time importance of decentralization. Let us start with what is the meaning of decentralization. Decentralization explains the manner in which the decision making responsibility are divided among the hierarchical level. So, here decision making power has been divided into the different department, different managers in the department, different department, they can take the decision individually. So, that is what the meaning of decentralization. Let us discuss the definition which has been given by Lewis Allen. Decentralization refers to delegate to the lowest level. So, transferring to the lowest level all authority except that which can be exercised at central point. So, they do not have to wait for everything has to be, all the decision has to be taken by the top management. No, it has been divided decision making power has been divided into the different department. They can take the individual decision. So, this is what decentralization. If you can see this particular chart, the manager given the permission to the accounts department, HR department, production department and sales department and research department, they can handle their particular department and they can take the decision in their particular department. They are free to take the decision in their particular department. So, each the authority level, the manager's level, they can take the decision in their particular department. That is what called decentralization. So, decision making power has been given to the lower level, the managerial level has been set up. So, that is what called the meaning of decentralization and the definition of decentralization. Let us discuss what is centralization. Centralization means it refers to the centralization of decision making power at the top level. Everything, all the decision in the company, in the organization, all whatever the minor decision has to be taken by the top management itself. There is no transfer of authority or decision making power which is spread out to the different departments. Centralization means top one person will be taking the decision, will be having the authority to delegate or to take the decision, to take any decision in the particular departments. So, everything it is done by the top level management. So, top management whatever says everyone has to listen. So, this is what called centralized. Only the top management can take any decisions in the organization. So, that is what centralization. Is that clear? It refers to the concentration of decision making power at the top management. Only top management can take the decision. Let us compare between what is decentralization, what is centralization. Let us compare the two concepts, centralization and decentralization. The basis, centralization and decentralization. What is the meaning of centralization? That is authority at the top level. So, centralization means the authority, decision making power, it is done by only by the top level, whereas it is the systematic distribution of authority. each department heads, each department manager has been given the power to take any decision in their particular department. That is decentralization. Freedom of decision making. Here, lower level, they don't have any rights to take any decision. Only top management take the decision. The lower level, the subordinate don't have any right to take any decision. Whatever the top management says has to be followed by the subordinate. Whereas in the decentralization of an organization, where manager at all the level can take, they have the freedom, they enjoy the freedom, they have the freedom to take the decision in their particular department with certain limits. Then where it is usually suitable? See, centralization usually suitable for the small organization, like if the organization having only 10 employees, 10 or 20 employees, or less than 50 employees, it will be helpful. Decentralization, only one person, usually 10 employees, it can be manageable. With only one person will be taking the decision. Whereas if it is a decentralization, the IT companies, the manufacturing companies, where they have lot of employees, it may be in 50,000, it may be 2,000, 5,000, in lakhs. Some of the IT industries, they have, if you take HP, if you take Infosys, they have lakhs together employees, and where if only the top management is taking the decision, entire whatever the decision making, they have to wait, all the process will makes a delay. So there, that particular company, if the company is having large number of employees, it is better to go with the decentralization. So this is what the comparison between centralization and decentralization of an organization. So let us discuss the last concept of organizing, that is the importance of delegation. What happens when the decision making power spread out to the different department heads? So what happens? The decentralization of authority spread to the lower levels. So why it is very important to an organization to decentralize the authority? The first one, it develops initiative among employees. It promotes self-reliance and confidence among the subordinate. Freedom to take the decisions enables the enables to learn and depend on their judgment. So develop the employees. Whenever the authority is given, the power is given to take the decision in their particular department, they come to know how to handle the pressure. Okay, they learn day by day, they learn the experience, they gain the experience how to handle their department. For example, if a production manager, if the accounts manager, under him there are number of employees, around 100 employees are working, and he will be the manager of that particular department. To handle the pressure, handle the departmental pressure, it's very high when they are going to face the actual problems, how they handle the different cases. So this develops. Okay, this develops an employee, this develops a manager, it gets more and more experience, he gains more and more experience. That is because of the decision making power when he gets. So that is why decentralization helps, okay, develops the initiative among the employees. So employees gets an opportunity, okay, even he gets the freedom of taking the decision in their particular department. He comes to know what is the things to be performed, what are the various decisions has to be taken. So this is because of the decentralization of authority. Second one, develops managerial talent. So it encourage decentralization, encourage for the future managers. Future managers are generated in the different department. The future managers are generated because of the given the power to take the decision in their particular department. This because of decentralization of authority. And the third one, it is quick decision making in their particular department. See, when the decentralization of authority transferred to the different levels, okay, the production department, accounts department, sales department, all they have the power to take the decisions. They do not have to wait for the managing director, whereas in the centralization everything done by the top level. I told, if a company is having 1,000 employees, okay, whatever the decision will be taken in the department, if they want to, you have to wait for the top level. All the process makes delays, production delays, sales delays, all the process in the company, it delays. So decentralization of authority which helps, okay, in the quick decision making of the company, because all the decision making process are spread out in the different department. Each manager are held responsible to take the decision in their particular department. No, they do not have to wait for the top level to take the decision. So that is why, because of the decentralization of authority. Then fourth one, relief to the top management. At the same time, last in the delegation, the same point repeated, again the same point repeated in the decentralization. Here the top management, okay, after transferring the authority to lower level, to the hierarchical level, where the top management concentrate on the product development, research in the product. They can see what is the market condition and what are the various they can grow in a further. They can grow further and how can expand their branches. So top management only can concentrate by transferring the authority or decision making power to the lower level. So this is because of the decentralization. So it is a relief to the top management because of the decentralization. And the fifth point, it facilitates growth. Managers given autonomy to manage their department. It allows the competition between the various departments. So what happens? Manager has given the freedom. Each manager has given production department, accounts department, HR department. Each department has given the power to take the decision. So at that time, each department will compete each other. Our department has to come higher end, and our department has to perform well in this particular month or in this particular year, and our department should provide a better result, good result. So it develop the competition. For example, in the college, principal say top levels authority, they says that you have to principal 100% result. So principal again transfer the authority power to the different decision making power to the arts department, commerce department, science department. So all they have to perform 100% result. So if all they perform, okay, here the competition increases. Yes, our department, commerce department has to give 100% result. Again, arts department has to give 100%. Science department, they also start compete with each other. Okay, they start compete each other. So this facilitates growth. So all compete each other. At the end of the academic year, the college gets 100% result because of the competition between the different departments. And the last one, better control. How the controlling process done by evaluating, setting the standards. Okay, after setting the standard, they can evaluate the outcome. Okay, they can evaluate the outcome of different managers. Okay, which manager has done better, whether production manager or the sales department or sales department manager, the accounts department manager, who has performed well in the organization. It's very easy to control, okay, because of the decentralization of authority. Better control can be possible when there is decentralization. So in the college, at the end state, yes, who performed well, whether arts department performed well, commerce department performed well, or science department. It's very easy to evaluate after the performance of the final result. Easy to compare the different departments. So this is what better control. So these are the various importance of decentralization. Develops initiates among the employees, develops managerial talents, quick decision making, And fourth one, relief to the top management facilitates growth and better control. So, in the organizing chapter, what are the various concepts what we have learned? So, let us discuss a summary of what are the concepts we have been discussing in organizing chapter. The first one is meaning of organizing, then we discuss steps in the organizing process like identification and division of work, departmentalization, assignment of duties, establishing reporting relationship. Then we have discussed the importance of organizing, benefit of specialization, clarity in working relationship, optimum utilization of resource, adaptation to change, effective administration, development of personnel, expansion and growth. So, that is the importance of organizing. Then we discuss organization structure, two types of structure, functional and division. Again the functional structure, we have discussed what are the various advantages and disadvantages of functional structure. If I go with the advantages, functional structure advantages, functional specialization, effective control and coordination, improve efficiency, avoids duplication of function, ease in training. And disadvantages of functional structure, functional empire, difficulty in coordination, difficult to hold accountable, conflict of interest and inflexibility. Then the advantages of divisional structure, product specialization, greater accountability, flexibility, expansion and growth. Then disadvantages of divisional structure, departmental of conflicts, costly, it is very costly and ignores organizational interest. Then we discuss about the formal and informal organization. Formal organization, we discuss the features, reporting relationship, it achieve the objectives of organization, coordination with the different various department, it is intentionally created by the top management, it places more emphasis on work. Then we discuss advantages of formal organization, fixation of various responsibility, clarity of duties, unity of command, helps in achieving objective and provides stability. Then we discuss disadvantages of formal organization, delay in action, lack of initiative, ignores human element. Then the next concept, the informal organization, the features originates from the formal authority organization, standard behave evolve from the group norms, it follows independent channel of communication, it emerges spontaneously, it has no definite structure. The advantages of informal, faster communication possible, fulfill the social needs, helps in achieving the organizational objective. The disadvantages of informal organization, spreads rumors, resistance to change, pressure of group norms. And we discuss the delegation of authority, the elements of delegation of authority, that is authority, responsibility, accountability. Then what are the importance of delegation of authority, effective management, employee development, motivation of employees, facilitation of growth, basis of management hierarchy and better coordination. Then we discuss the centralization and decentralization, meaning of centralization and decentralization. The last concept we discuss, the importance of decentralization, develops initiates among the subordinates, managerial talent, quick decision making, relief to the top management, facilitates growth and better coordination, better control. So, thank you.